Well, you might have thought that I'd be returning a bit frustrated today and a bit deflated, having been on the end of a proper demolition job by Manchester United in a Champions League. However, we bounced back from our defeat against City in the Premier League, and most importantly, we got revenge against United in the FA Cup. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 88 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today for what on paper are our two toughest remaining Premier League matches against 7th place Newcastle, who are just 6 points behind us now, and also are home to Everton, who are in 11th and struggling, but have been Champions League regulars and have a great record against us in recent seasons. You can see our record against Newcastle isn't that great either. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can overturn it, despite picking up a few very important injuries during the international break, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We're also going to look ahead to a big FA Cup semi-final, which will feature in the next episode against our old nemesis Aston Villa. And of course, looking at the table, we're 11 points behind with 2 games in hand. As much as we're looking down and thinking 2 defeats here and we could end up in 7th this season, we're also looking up and thinking if we win them, could we be in the title race with an easier running on paper? Let's go and find out all the answers to that via a look at our youth intake, which has come in since the last episode. And I'm afraid after the excitement of Alex Crowe last year, after getting Zimmerman the year before, who went to Wolves for 15 odd million this summer, it's not quite so good. We've got 2 one-star ability players with a little potential. Thornton could become a third choice keeper in the future. And we've also got Marlon Livesey, who is okay, but look at him physically. He's never going to make it at this level. So, might become pros, but there's no one who's going to set the world alight this year. In the meantime, though, we need to have a look at what's been happening on the pitch, where things have been very much a mixed bag, because in the Champions League, we said we were going to gamble, and God, it went badly wrong. The United game was actually going all right. We were 1-0 up in that game, despite the fact we were down to 10 men at half-time. Kazuki Takatsuka scored after Asensio had let us down. He was only playing because Ishmael was injured. But then in the second half, we couldn't cope with United. They went more aggressive. We obviously ran out of steam and we had a backup team on. And in the end, it got to 4-1 and I just bought on the likes of Crowe and Hansen as well. It was a chastening experience that last half an hour. We did bounce back though against Fulham at the weekend in the league. Mauricio got 2 and Jimenez 1. As most importantly, we kept the pressure on for a top 4 place in Champions League football again. The second leg against United was a bit of a bizarre one. Again, we were in the game at 3-2, but we just fell away. Caljo played in goal and was, I kid you not, diabolical. But Rakowski did get his first goal for the club, and we also got one for Mauricio again. Then against Luton Town in the FA Cup, we gambled on rotation. It worked. Joe Hugill got the winner. He so often does in these matches. Alex Crowe made his first start. Rakowski and Hansen played together centre-half. Could be a partnership of the future. But Joe Hugill, the old boy, still delivering. A 2-0 win then in a quarter-final against United. The best result of the season for me. The dominant performance was part of it. Sadler made a couple of big saves when he needed to. Both wingers turned up and produced their best. Yokolano with the creativity. Ryan Adamson got a big goal and Teddy Ivanov scored a cracker. Problem with that, Teddy Ivanov is now out injured. He picked up one in the international break, as did Herbert, the skipper, and Harrison as well. That means if we look at the medical centre, they're not massive injuries, but Ivanov will miss a couple of weeks, both of these big games. And Herbert, probably unlikely to be fully fit by Tuesday. But then after that, if we're looking to secure the top 4, Brighton have had an awful season but are a Champions League team. But then Norwich at home, Reading, Sheffield United at home, Brentford and Palace away, we should be looking to win. And having a fully fit squad and possibly an FA Cup final to look forward to could make it absolutely crucial. Let's go and get through to the fixtures though, because we have got a big game today. Manchester United have lost to Liverpool, which, much like the last episode with the Arsenal one, keeps our outside chances of first alive, but maybe harms our chances of the top 4 overall. So let's get through the tactical meeting, see who's fit, and see who we're going to put out today. Because Newcastle still have one of the heroes of our Bristol City save from last year, Alex Scott in the middle, player we've managed in the head coach this year too. Shotard in the holding role has caused us trouble plenty of times. Merlo, a centre-half, is a player I've tried to sign before. He's very good, but he's not the tallest. and that may help us with our strikers. And then Guehi and Livramento, good defenders too. Costa, a great keeper. They're a good side, but I am hoping if we can get the ball in the box. Joe Wills is 6'2", great in the air. Mauricio is 6 foot and good in the air. Joe Hugel off the bench isn't bad either. Maybe we can take advantage. But this is the 11 that I've gone for today. I think it is the strongest of what's remaining. And I think the squad overall is as strong as it can be. It is Jude Sadler in goal, Memic and De Angelis the fullbacks. Parker comes in alongside O'Day at centre-half. It's normally one of them with Herbert, so they've not really played together this year. Yocolano and Adamson out wide, both looking to back up that cup performance. Bernberg and Jimenez the midfield too. And then up front is Mauricio and Joe Wills this time, with Teddy Ivanov out injured for the foreseeable. If we look at the bench, we've got youngsters on there, we've got quality. Rakowski is now the first choice backup centre-half with that injury, and he's already improving off the pitch. There are some real positives moving forward. Alex Crowe continues to develop, but he's not going to make it today. We've got a strong bench. We've got a lot of squad depth if need be. Will it deliver on the big occasion? Let's go and find out at St James's Park. Well, here we go. And Newcastle have thrown a bit of a curveball. They've dropped out Merlot for the taller and more imposing Sven Botman, which is quite clever against our style of play. They've also got Miguel Helguera on the left, who's been brilliant against us, and Victor Roque has scored goals as well. Arda Güler is on the bench, a man making shockwaves in real life at the minute. It's a good squad, isn't it? We know they've got that blend of youth and experience, and they're having a better season under Luis Enrique. We've got Pochettino up next to Everton as well. Two managers doing great jobs at their clubs. But we're doing a good one too. Let's see, after 3 draws for Newcastle in the last 5, if we can get something out of them as well. If we want to win the title, which is probably a step too far at the moment, we need to win this game. If we want to stay in that battle for the top 4, I'd take a draw all day long. As O'Day plays out to Jimenez, just over 10 on the clock, gives away possession, trying to find that through ball. Find it weird when I've got him on simple passing that he keeps trying to unlock the door rather than play it to the playmaker alongside. And that's abysmal defending. I mean, the hand's gone up, but the assistant's flag hasn't, sorry. I've no idea how we've been caught out by that. It's a straight ball through the middle. The goal's awarded. But that is becoming a bit of an issue. It's not part of Jimenez's game, I don't think. There's no traits to say he looks for the through ball or whatever. I mean, ultimately, he's good on the ball. He should be good in this situation. But I find it weird the instructions being ignored. As Yocolano with a corner. There's Sven Botman. That's why they brought him in against us. As Adamson recycles on the right for Bernberg, who's had a quiet month or two. Parker gets the ball in the back area. There's no real stopping him because there's no one behind him if he loses it. Though Jimenez gets it to Yocolano, who's still on that left side. Across the box he goes. It hits the post. Took a little deflection on the way through. And it almost cost Newcastle a goal as it's cleared downfield. Memic wins it back. And Yocolano is back on the right this time. But Alex Scott does his job. And with 20 gone, there's only been that one shot on target all game. Not sure how we haven't had a shot unless it's not counting because he was trying to cross it. Ended up hitting the post as Galaza. Ball into the back post. Guehi hits the woodwork. We get away with one as Adamson breaks away. Botman tried to foul him on a yellow there. And Helguera does wipe him out. You dirty, dirty boys. He didn't even get booked. Referee, what is wrong with you? It is the clearest cynical stop of a counter-attack you will ever see. You've got one job, man. As Scott gets it to Helguera. Back to Gerardo. And Newcastle better not get a second now. I'll be livid. It's Helguera as well. The man who should have been booked. Gerardo. Little Rabona cross there. Away to Shotard on the edge. It looks like we're under pressure. Bernberg in. Correa. 2-0. Disgusting officiating. Absolutely disgusting. Failed to book Helguera for a clearly cynical foul. And they go straight up the other end and do that with Helguera a big part of it. Botman should have got his second yellow as well. And at half time, we are 2 down as a result. I'm disappointed with the performance. We've not been good. We've really missed the skipper's leadership at the back and his pace to an extent. We've also missed Ivanov and his ruthless edge up front because Mauricio has provided no threat in behind. I'm looking at the second half. What can we do here? I'm also looking at this dressing room graphic behind. We've got a goalkeeper with an outfield shirt there. There's another one to watch out for. Into the second half, we're 2-0 down. We've hit the post. We've not offered much more than that. And it's Newcastle on the attack again. This could become a very difficult day. As we saw with the United ones, we have taken a couple of hammerings recently. But even when we played against City and Liverpool on camera and lost 1-0, we had loads of chances in both matches. Here we're not really creating anything or looking like having a threat. And with an hour gone, Drew O'Day's becoming a real concern for me. He's marked as elite. He's got a great rating, but he doesn't deliver. He's going to come off, and I'm going to bring on Rakowski, the youngster. I'm also going to take off Jimenez, who's not been great. I'm going to bring on Aaron Berwick and switch Bernberg over. Mauricio is going to come off for Joe Hugill because he's just not delivering when it matters. Memic is on a yellow, so Branda's the safe option there. And Yokolano, after a great game last time, has had a stinker. So it's Takatsuka. 5 subs on the hour mark. Hopefully they'll get We're Not Happy. We've had no momentum, no territory really in this match. And I'm starting to worry that we might not create anything. Though we do like a late show as Bernberg finds Parker. 2 creative players in the middle as Adamson releases Hugill. Joe Hugill, is he to the rescue? Gets the shot away and he's up against Merlot now, which may really help us later if we can get balls in the box. But where they're coming from at the moment, I'm not sure. We're not even having possession as Takatsuka to the back post. Botman away again. De Angelis gets it on the right. Back to Rakowski. The Wonder Kid finds Parker. Adamson to Takatsuka. And the goalkeeper's let it through. The 2 wingers combine and one of the subs gets a goal. And suddenly, from offering nothing all game, we are right back in this. 20 minutes to go. 2-1. And we've got a bit of a threat now. Can we make it count? I think not, because we've gone back to offering absolutely nothing. We've got another corner with 9 to go. Adamson into the back post. That's a penalty. That's a handball every day of the week. You could see it on the animation. His hand was above his head. Under no pressure from a Southend player, you've got to give it. And it's a penalty kick and a chance for 2-2. Who's taking it? It's Joe Wills. He's not had his best goal scoring season. And he's not been that fit recently. What does he do? Oh, no. Straight down the middle at the goalkeeper. He holds it as well. What a way to blow the chance. But it's all Southend. Can he make amends? De Angelis to Hugill. Lovely turn again. Botman wins it back. He's had a brilliant game. Albeit he should have been sent off first half as Bernberg finds Baranda. Carries it forward to Joe Wills. Great, he gets there. Costa will clear it away. Currently the hero. Made a bit of a hash of our goal, but has saved the penalty and held it to keep it at 2-1. As Arda Gula breaks away down the right. 3rd goal here and the game's over. Gula gets to the byline. Ball into the back post. Vitor Roque's moved wide. Cuts it inside to Correa. Bernberg nicks it, but only briefly. Into Gula is 3-1. It's a great finish. Really clever finish. It was a good pass before as well. And there's the difference at this level. Our star man misses a penalty to make it 2-2. And their super sub comes on and makes it 3-1. And it's also the big problem with Teddy Ivanov being injured because he would have been on the penalty. As Adamson gets it on the left into Hugill. And Joe Hugill has scored. Never doubt Big Joe. But with 3 minutes to go, do you know what? Let's go attacking. Let's go for it. It's 3-2, boys. You've got an opportunity. Joe Hugill has given us a tiny lifeline. Yet again, we perform late on. And if it weren't for a missed penalty, we would have got something here. There are still 2 minutes though. Can we create one more chance? They've brought Merlot on at centre-half and it's destroyed their game. He can't handle the aerial threat there of Hugill we saw. As Newcastle break down the right with Livramento. It's opened up a bit now, hasn't it? Correa coming down the right-hand side. Hugill's back to intercept it. Go on, Joe. Out to Takatsuka. Bernberg gets it. If we score from this as Hugill surging down the left wing. Finds Adamson. Into Bernberg. Takatsuka's in. It's 3-3. 2 goals in 2 stoppage time minutes. 3-3 at St James's. Joe Hugill, you legend. Scores a header. From the kickoff, he runs back 50 yards to win it at left back. Picks it up again on the left wing. Surges forward. Finds a lovely through ball for Adamson. And it might have got us a point at St James's and really strengthened our first ever attempt at a top 4 push. As Costa plays out from the back, do not concede now. Gerardo on the left-hand side finds Guehi, gives it away to Baranda. We couldn't, could we? We couldn't. Baranda down the right to Takatsuka. They're in the middle. Takatsuka. Oh, unbelievable. What is going on here? 4-3 Southend. I told you we like a late show. Kazuki Takatsuka with 2. Unbelievable scenes. We didn't have a shot on target for the first hour, and it finishes Newcastle 3, Southend 4. We were 3-1 down after 93 minutes. That is insanity. That is this Southend United team in a nutshell. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Joe Hugill, Kazuki Takazuka, you two take a bow. Now we've got 3 days to recover. Everton on Tuesday. And my word, we want to make this count because that should have the lads buzzing. Well, as we continue through our annual staff contract renewals process, we have got our fitness tests ahead of the Everton game. And after what happened at the end of that Newcastle match, I don't want it to be for nothing. So let's see if we can get the job done here, as Alfie Harrison should be back. Teddy Ivanov doesn't even fail a fitness test. He's just not ready for one. And Lewis Herbert, no mention of him. So let's see what state he's in, because that was the big problem at the weekend. We looked really poor at the back. Can we get one of them back in? Bernberg struggling as well. But everyone else is okay. And Lewis Herbert is fine. So he's going to come back in for O'Day, who's got a heavy match load. Parker will stay on the right. We're also going to put Alfie Harrison on the bench in place of... Well, he'll replace Rakowski. Then we'll also bring in O'Day for Asensio, just so we've got a centre-half there. Does give us 3 good defenders. I'm tempted to start Takatsuka, but he's such an impact sub. And I think what we'll actually do is bring Berek in for Bernberg. And then actually we'll probably bring Asensio back in for him. Although Bernberg's not too bad on the match load. Might just need a few minutes off the bench. He'll be all right. So we're going to leave it with that. Means the changes for today are the return of Herbert, who comes in at left centre-half, the skipper. Berek in centre midfield. Then back on the bench is Alfie Harrison. I'm sticking with Wills and Mauricio, but Joe Wills has now not scored in 5, which means I'm going to give him a little warning about his recent form. Need you to start scoring again. Teddy Ivanov's on the way back, and it might be you dropping out rather than Mauricio. Let's go and submit the team. If we need them, though, Hugo and Takatsuka are on the bench to save the day. Well, Everton have gone a bit bolder with Maurizio Pochettino. 6 changes for them. Just 1 original in the team in the form of Amadou Onana, who was obviously only about 20 at the start of the game. Valentin Barco, the old wonder kids on the bench. And they've got a few other good players in the team as well. But Everton, very much one of the younger sides in the Premier League. I think the only other original there is James Garner. Nathan Patterson might have left for last season. But let's see how we get on today. After that thrilling 4-3 win at later St James's, can we have a more comfortable passage today? We've generally been all right at home, but as you've seen on camera, we've had those odd games against top sides where we've struggled to score. And Mauricio's early free kick, what a routine that is. And Jimenez faced with just the goalkeeper. He's not even hit the target. 4 minutes gone. That's a glorious gilt-edged chance. And it's gone begging. Really should have done better with that. 10 on the clock. It's been a very good start to the game. Berek with a little bit of magic there. The only one who's still unhappy, still wants 90 grand a week for some reason. We've got all these stars that start every game that are happy to renew for less, and he just wants a worldy contract. As Joe Wills, very much almost the villain on Saturday, has popped up with a big header at the back post. He's made amends, and that's that individual chat working. You can never keep him quiet for long. Mauricio with the corner to set it up as Diop puts a free kick wide. The first glimpse we've seen from Everton, and we're dominant with half an hour gone. Well, approaching first half stoppage time, I was going to say so far it's been very comfortable, but we're back with Everton in possession and Onana going on amazing runs. We want to be careful. Berek's nicked it though. Wills finds Mauricio. Wonderful first touch. Has support on the left. Good sliding challenge. Intercepts it last second. And Filipovic will bring it out from the back to Hooper and now Fitzgerald. Wide to Mitrovic. Can Everton still get back on terms? Would very much be against the run of play, but I think after what happened at St James's, I can't complain about that too much. As Ainsworth beats his man with ease, Yocolano can't keep up. Fullback's in no man's land. Mitrovic is up. And it's the sucker punch in reverse. We had half of our shots on target in second half stoppage time at Newcastle. Everton have their first here, and they might even go in ahead because they've got a free kick on the right into Onana. Headed away as far as Jimenez. Can we break? Last chance of the half. Berek on the right. We've played the 3 minutes, but Yocolano's been released and we're still playing on. 2 in the middle. Can we get back ahead? Yocolano in. Back to Jimenez. Blocked off the line. Out for a throw in. We should have been ahead. But unfortunately, 2 of our 3 best chances in the half have fallen to Joaquin Jimenez, and he is not the man that we really want on all of our chances. Herbert, ironically, has had a stinker. Adamson struggling a bit physically. De Angelis, the whole left-hand side, is struggling. But what on earth can we do? We're in control of the match. We're getting our shots away. But the scoreline says 1-1. Can the late show deliver again? Mauricio with a corner kick. Will's up. Oh, he's hit the woodwork. Almost scored 2 identical goals. As Yucalano on the right. Back into the box. Cleared away by Bennett. Everton very much clinging on for this point now. Berek to De Angelis. Down the line to Adamson. Back to De Angelis again. Has support inside from Herbert. The skipper just keeps possession. Switches it to Memic. Down the line to Yucalano. Who's going to take who on? Yucalano back to Parker. Now there's space for Memic. Yucalano's making a run again. Memic goes alone though. Beats his man. Chance to cross. Joe Wills is in there. And Joe Wills heads in. The goal drought is well and truly over now. Missed the penalty last game. It didn't cost us. And he scored 2 in this one, which might be just enough. We're approaching the hour mark. We'll think about changes in a minute. Because Adamson and De Angelis are really struggling on that left-hand side. And Herbert is having an absolute stinker. As Bennett plays into midfield for Bakayoko. Anana carries it over halfway. Yucalano does well. But only goes as far as Rafa Marin. He's got options down the right. Goes inside to Hooper. The airport's going mad, but we're not worried about that. It's all about Southend United as De Angelis gets it to Adamson. He goes down the left-hand side. Chance to run into space. He's knackered. It'll be his last contribution. But can it be a telling one? It's into Wills. Almost a hat-trick. It's off the bar. Goalkeeper got a hand to it. Brilliant save. Yucalano in at the back post. It's away. Oh, Memic. What a volley that is. Misses the target, but it had the keeper scrambling. Let's get some changes on. We're going to go O'Day for Herbert. Just try and make things simple. De Angelis for Cameron Ishmael. And Adamson for Sam Ammo. It saves 2 subs for Hugo and Takatsuka if needed to save the day. But with 3 made and with an hour gone, we're playing oh so well. But it's only a 1-goal lead. I want more as Rafa Marin brings it away from a corner. Or does he? Turns back into trouble. Bennett gets there. And Ainsworth can now bring it away. Everton have worked it out well in the end. Plenty of composure. Valentin Barco is on. Mauricio was pressing him. And we forced it back to the centre halves. But they can switch the play and get going here. Fitzgerald into midfield. And it's wide to Hooper. Long highlight. Ishmael nicks it. Sam Ammo, the fellow sub, finds Jimenez. Support on the right. Goes through to Mauricio. He's offside. Was over anyway. He's useless on the floor. We have got to think about Joe Will's fitness, but I want to give him a chance to get the hat-trick. Yucalano is not having the best of games now. So let's bring on Super Takatsuka, the hat-trick hero from the weekend. He might be able to do something for us. We'll give it to the final 10. And then you know who's coming on, don't you? I'd like to take Mauricio off in an ideal world. But Joe Wills will need him at the weekend. Joe Hugill is ever dependable off the bench. Let's praise the lads for this performance because it's been brilliant. As Mauricio's free kick is just over. Could have been curtains for the match, but we were 3-1 down here at the weekend. We know that this is not an insurmountable lead. As Darkquart is bringing it forward, Everton are going for it. He's carrying it and he's still going. It's wide to Cancellieri and now Fitzgerald. Through ball, it could be 2-2. Forced back, it's on the edge and Anana puts it in. Oh, we're getting done the same way. We're getting done the exact way we did Newcastle. Oh, it couldn't just be simple, could it? We're down the left-hand side with Ishmael. Can Joe Hugill come to the rescue again? Can Takatsuka deliver? Oh, it's a great save, Filipovic. Takatsuka almost with another big goal. It's out for a corner, which Mauricio will take again. Nose time is on his side. I want to win. I've got time wasting on Never. Put the ball in, man. What are you doing? Into the back post. Parker's up. Headed away. Come on, lads. You've got to give me one moment. Let's go attacking. It worked against Newcastle. Will it work here? We've got a 94th minute free kick. Joe Hugill's in the box. Anana, currently the Everton hero, gets it away. I mean, when we were 3-1 down after 93 against Newcastle, I would have been very excited to get 4 points out of this episode. As it is now, I'm feeling a little disappointed. 30 seconds to go. Filipovic at the back. It's a huge kick over. Deal with it, O'Day. He does. Berek, chance to play wide to Memic. It's the last chance. We couldn't do it again, could we? Memic to Takatsuka. Mauricio's in. Oh, he's offside. I'm really starting to dislike him. He just hasn't got the footballing brain on the floor. The goal's disallowed. It will be 2-2. And he didn't need to go that early. It's another great game. It's a brilliant performance. But we didn't make it count. Jimenez missed 2 gilt-edged chances at the start. Mauricio, he's just not Teddy Ivanov, let's put it that way. But 4 points out of 6 from where we were at 3-1 down against Newcastle is not that bad, is it? Let's be honest, it strengthens our top 4 claim. It's our 2 toughest games on paper before the end of the year. And now with those 2 played, we're still 7 off United, but crucially, we're 7 ahead of 5th place and 10 ahead of 7th place. So much better than it looked at the start of the episode. Let's see when we're next going to be back, because our attention will be turning to the FA Cup. Let's praise Joe Wills for that performance and look at the schedule, because we have got an old bogey side in Aston Villa who love scoring a big goal against us. Still got Jose Mourinho in charge, and of course are having a good league season themselves. But Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final, very much the main attraction here. The furthest we've got in one of my favourite competitions. And after winning our first major trophy in the Europa League last year, can we now win my favourite domestic competition? We'll find out in a couple of days' time if we can get one step closer and make it a first ever FA Cup final appearance in this career. If you want to stay up to date and find out, and you did enjoy this one, what a bonkers game at St James's, then please do put a thumbs up on it. 3 goals in 3 stoppage time minutes, the ultimate turnaround complete. If you want to stay up to date and see if we can do it again before the season finishes, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with this one in a couple of days' time, but before that, we return tomorrow with a big episode from the head coach. We're playing in a Club World Cup for the first ever time. We've got a little bit of a crisis when it comes to the squad, and we've got 1 game to decide our fate in the group stages. Come and join me and be the 12th man for that, as we've also got links in the eye above to our other playlists, the football podcast, EFL predictions galore this week with the playoffs starting, National League final, Premier League weekend too. Come and get involved in the comments. It's loads of fun. We play along with the prediction show. Come and prove how good your football knowledge is over there. We've also got regular live streams on Twitch and so much more as well. But thank you very much for watching, for being here as always. And I'll see you back here next time for a rare Wembley appearance with Southend United.